So we all know the majority of people in Shannon and Darlewan are landlords that have multiple properties. Like nearly, I think nearly 70% the last all, and I say it's probably nearly more now. It's probably nearly 90% of the people in Shannon and Darlewan who have rented houses out to people, and they're probably charging exorbitant rents. So pretty much is what they shouldn't have in the first place. Let's be fair. No member of the Iraq should have properties rented out, because to be told there's a conflict of interest there, because we see it every day, every government, every time a new government, there's always something to benefit the landlords, because it's benefiting themselves in terms of particularly this now, the rent pressure zone. The government want to scrap that. So pretty much what it means, they can only charge a certain amount landlords for a rented accommodation. Take for example, there's one incident in Dublin where somebody's paying 1,300. I know it sounds a lot, but it's only one bedroom apartment with a small bathroom, and it's 1,300. And the only reason why that is because the rent pressure, the landlord can't put it up anymore. It's a private tenant landlord. Who knows? It could be a member of the Oireachtas. Who knows? But let's put it that way. It's 1,300 a month. Right, that's just the standard rent. If that was got rid of the rent pressure zone, he could be paying 2,000 a month for a small room with a bathroom. Like, that's what it is. Like, you owe nothing and be happy, pretty much. Because to be totally honest, this man, I feel sorry for him. He's working a 40-hour week. It's a hard job to work 40 hours a week and then have a young son at the same time, having to look after him. It's difficult. It's not easy, and especially that price, 1,300 a month. Majority of his wage is going towards his rent. He owns nothing and be happy, as the World Economic Forum would say. But they want to get rid of it, and just going by this, the landlord union, the landlord group is delighted. They're delighted because they can charge people exorbitant rents, and it's typical of the government, because again, the reason why the TDs and the members of the Oireachtas want to get rid of the rent pressure zones is because there's more money for them. Because all of them are landlords. Because the majority of them have 3 or 4 properties. Mikey Healy-Way, for example, has multiple properties. He's housing Ukrainians too. So it's more money for them, because they could charge people extraordinary. So take for example that man there, 1,300 a month. Imagine that. Think about that. They could charge him 2,500 a month, the landlord, if he wanted to. He could be a dick about it. And he'd be like, if you can't afford to pay it, I can get another tenant. And I can charge them extraordinary rent too. It's all just a complete scam, in my opinion. It's all just a scam. I don't know how we can't do what we did years ago. Years ago in Carpenter, for example, we had 2 up by the swimming pool. There's about 300 houses that were built in the 80s, when the country had literally no money. And they were all put up within a year, them 300 houses. And they were all council houses, and people paid a decent bit of money for them at the time. But still, at the end of the day, it was affordable. It was something like, I don't know, it was about £80, not £100 a week, or something like that, which was not much. It sounded a lot, but back then it wasn't too much, and it was a good, comfortable house, and it was a council house, and they wouldn't be able to put up the rents too much. And that's the good thing about council houses, they can't put the rents up too much. They can increase it a small bit, but they can't do it too much. But the government, and again, this is my point too, and the main thing, that members of the Oireachtas, if you're a TD or senator, you should not have a property rented out. You shouldn't have it, pretty much, because in my opinion, it's a conflict of interest. Because I see it time and time again. We've seen in the last government too, they made tax exceptions for landlords, etc., etc., because it's benefiting themselves. It's benefiting themselves. So why wouldn't they do it? Because you don't see them going to help anybody that's homeless, etc., because it doesn't affect them. It doesn't matter to them. The only thing they're worried about is their back pocket. In my opinion, they shouldn't. No member of the Shannon or the Oireachtas, either Darlewan or Shannon, should have properties rented out to people. I know people say that's the one business, particularly if you're in a public office like that and making the decisions for the country. You probably shouldn't have that rented out. It's all right after you leave. If you leave the Oireachtas, you're voted out or kicked out, or decide to leave of your own terms, then you can have a property rented out to people if you wanted to. But I do think it's a big conflict of interest, particularly this, and a lot of people are very worried about it. I'm seeing people here, many people online too. It's a shame, because they're really going to drive people into the ground. That's what this country's doing to a lot of people. Like, a lot of people are dropping dead of strokes and heart attacks because this country's driving them into the ground. And the only people to blame is Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael. And to be totally honest, we only have ourselves to blame, because we voted the same fuckers back in again. Excuse my language, but it's only the truth. To have the same fucking shit happen again, pretty much. But I feel sorry that, like, even take for example, there's a fella here that is a chairperson in the housing body. He says it should be in place for 2 more years, the rent pressure. So now it's not confirmed 100% the government going to get rid of it. But it does seem likely they will. Micheál Martin has pretty much, Micheál Martin has pretty much said it. So they say it needs another 2 years to get things back, to sort out, etc., etc. But I don't know. But it does seem like it's going to cause a lot of suffering for a lot of people if they do get rid of it. because again, it's benefiting the landlords. It's not benefiting you or me, the people who are going out to work. Imagine that man, just take for example in Dublin. He's paying 1,300 a month. He's going out to work. Oh, his wage is pretty much going towards his house. That's what he's pretty much saying. He has no money left nearly at the end of the week. It's all going to his house. Like he doesn't even own it. Imagine that. Think about it. It's only in his rent, and then your electricity. And God forbid if he has a car, you would barely have probably €50 left at the end of the month, and that's for groceries and stuff. Like it's a sad life. It is truly a sad life in this country for people. But I don't know how understand how people from Timbuktu can come over and have big houses and luxury cars and shoes. It doesn't make any sense, but that's the country we live in. But it's going to affect people. It is going to affect people. It's plain and simple. I can see the anxiety, and I can see the worry in a lot of people's faces. Just looking at my other screen here, just looking at people what they're saying on Twitter, etc., etc. It's desperate. Like if they do it, it's desperate because they could charge people heaven and out, the landlords. And again, it's only benefiting the TDs. It's not benefiting them. If they were in the same situation, the majority of our citizens, our fellow citizens, they wouldn't do it either. But we see. But I don't think we should get rid of it. I don't think so. I don't think it is, because it's not beneficial to the only public. It's beneficial to the landlords, of course, the 1%, the landlords and the NGOs, all them. But it's not beneficial to the only Irish Joe. That's what I'm trying to say. So I think we should keep it for another while anyway, and see what happens after that. But it's ridiculous that they're even talking about again. Every day of the week, you hold it all throughout the election. There's a housing crisis, a homelessness crisis. Then as soon as they get in, who gives a shit? Let's put up the red tenfolds. It's just we get what you're voting for. That's all I say.